Hey guys, so welcome to my first vlog for BigEV. So what I want to look at today is swapping out the two EWP 25 water pumps to one massive 150. Reason for doing is I believe that each pump is fighting against each other and not actually getting the full water pressure through the core. So by swapping it to one larger one, and then we'll use a controller to bring this back down, because at 150 litres a minute, that'll be too much water going through the actual core itself. So what I'm going to look at is getting a 10 amp PWM controller to bring the speed of this down at least to half, to do some testing and see where the actual best medium is, because at 150 it'll flow too fast through the core and it actually won't get a chance to cool down and disperse the heat out of the water. So let's get into it. Currently this core is the front mount heat exchanger for a sandwich plate style water air intercooler. It's not the largest you can have. To be honest, it's actually undersized for this application because it's no longer a sandwich cooler anymore. This cooler is literally about 10 to 15 times the original size in terms of volume. So because of that, I have a feeling this will never keep up anymore, and in the future we will look at upgrading this core to be literally the size of a radiator, because there's so much more area we can use on each side, and just got to get that further back towards that condenser. That means this AC dryer has to get relocated so we can have at least this core further back towards the condenser itself. That won't be much of an issue, as most of these AC lines can get re-welded and have extra externals out to a dryer somewhere over here, and then all that can get routed back in. The reason why I want to keep the AC is it is muggy in Queensland, and in the future I might look at a refrigerant style addition to the core for, say, going to the drags or something like that. So under here, this bird's nest, you got two EWP 25 booster pumps. They obviously work together to push water up into the core. Not the best design, but it's all I can do under here. So what we're going to look at doing is trying to remove these two and have one massive one either sitting there or there. Therefore I can try to have this one line coming in, joining into two coming in, joining into the one, going through the one pump, and then one out, then sliding back up, because of the core's kind of got two bungs welded onto it. Well, after looking around at different options, decided that this is not going to be a solution for having this up the front. There's literally no room. So what I'm going to do as testing for research is to move this back towards the condenser a bit more. Gives more room for the air to come through the front bar and get ducted in, and we'll actually put some actual ducting around it to get it all lined up. Well, been able to get that all nice and further back now. It's a lot closer to the condenser. Everything lines up back where it was. So the idea now is to put nut certs into this. So this can be the back plate bolts for the lights will come through into this, and then we'll start ducting it off. So the air has to go through this core, it can't go around the core. So when the air comes through, it doesn't go, nah, I'll go there, I'll go there, I'll go there, it'll go through there. So we'll block that off, we'll block that off, and we'll block that off, as well as under here as well. So now that this is all ready to be bolted in, I have here some 0.5mm alloy sheeting, which we will use to block up all the gaps so the air only goes through the core. Well, another day, another dollar. I'll try to finish this today due to the weather the other day. Let's keep going. So I've decided to use this plastic material just for the sides. Therefore, it just should give enough strength and keep the air going in. And it's easy to cut with a Stanley knife, so keep going. So I pretty much got an outline now. It seems to be fitting alright. So what I'll do, I'll take this in, I'll cut it out of a different material, a bit more stronger, and we'll go from there. Well, it's been a bit of a wait since the last video, due to family commitments, weather, and as you can see during Brisbane, the last couple of weeks we had just a bit of rain, so we had to go through and dig out a whole new channel for this trench, because there was so much water coming in. It literally just came in underneath the shed, even with a little homemade trench in front of it. So got this great stuff here, and that's obviously going to help now getting water away so it doesn't come in anymore. So as you saw, I put the went through, laser cutted all the bits that I measured up. It seems to fit up pretty nice. The car, we had done some tests. Unfortunately, it did go down. We were a couple of degrees cooler, but in the end, the core is just not that big. It's not efficient enough to get the heat out. It is efficient to get the heat out of the air in terms of inside the engine, but not to get the heat out of the water into the air out the front of the car. So two ways we can sync it going. forward is bigger reservoir, stop the heat soak, but still got to get the heat out of the water. So in the end, we'll have to look at a solution around the actual radiator itself. We need a bigger, thicker core, more passes, more rows, and we'll go from there. But for the moment,